Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Maya with Simply Bloom. So today we are fixing some garden mistakes. I don't want to call them fails, and really they're just mistakes on my part. So I've talked about it several times on my channel, but if you're new here, welcome. I like to set up where I want to put the plants and I let them just sit for a few days just to kind of feel what it feels like. And then if I feel like I don't like them after a day or two, I just move them somewhere else, and as simple as that. But I've done a lot of things this year. I'm just rushed. I feel like I say this in every video, but I had surgery on my foot. So I'm very behind on all my gardening. So I've just been throwing plants in the ground where I think I like them, and then turns out a few weeks later, I don't like them there. So most of these plants I've planted this spring. There's a couple that I put in late last fall. You're supposed to plant things 6 weeks before your first frost. I planted them like a few weeks after our first frost, and they were in 4-inch containers, so I knew I just had to throw them in the ground. They were already dormant for the year, just anything to survive winter. So there's a couple plants that I want to move because after just throwing them in the ground, I just don't like them there. So I'm gonna kind of walk around and show you a few things that I want to transplant to a better spot, and then I will replant better things in that spot. I've kind of thought about it the last couple of weeks, and I think I have better solutions for my problems. So let's start. Oh, also I want to say all of my flower beds are no dig, no till. And I put in a lot in the last year and this year, and we have a cat that likes to go around and scratch the mulch, and it shows the cardboard underneath, and no matter how well you try to recover what the cat scratched, can never recover the cardboard. So I need to go get more mulch. I ran out of mulch, and just do a thicker layer of mulch over everything. So if you see just patches of cardboard showing, that's why. I'm sorry, it looks bad. Just wanted to explain. All right, first things first. I believe this is a type of dianthus. I have grass coming up through it, which makes it look even worse. But this is along my cottage garden right when you come into the driveway, right in front of my cut flower garden. And I just don't like it. I don't like it. When you pull into the driveway, I want something that's just an absolute kapow. Like, I want it to be beautiful all the time, and this just isn't. So I'm gonna move that somewhere else that I don't really care about. I won't get rid of it completely. I'm gonna move it somewhere else, but I don't like it there. I do not like it there. So let me show you what I'm gonna put there. I'm going to put these. At least a couple of them. So I have some phlox, tall garden phlox I planted under my Limelight standard, and too much shade, like they won't bloom. The ones in front are all budded up, about to bloom, but the ones in back are not. So I'm going to put those where that dianthus is. This is another thing I want to move, this yarrow. There's nothing really wrong with the location, but I just want to put it somewhere else. So I have a second yarrow as well. So I'm gonna dig up this one. The other one is still in a pot, and let me show you where I'm gonna put this. I wanna put them right here. So I have a pincushion flower here that I might scooch forward a little bit, but I wanna put the yarrow right there. So I want this bed to be like a cottage garden eventually, where it all fills in and it's touching. On the other side, this pincushion flower, and it's struggling. So if it comes back this little every time, I want something else there to fill in the space. So I was thinking of putting the other yarrow right there. So it's right in front of our purple Proteus clematis, and I think that would be really pretty. So that's how I'm going to be putting the yarrows there and there. Like I said, I might scoot that one forward just a little bit, or I might not. I don't know. Clematis like the roots shaded as well, so I think if I put a yarrow right there, they'll like that. And then right here I have a heliopsis. This is on the other side of the garage, and I planted a clematis there, and it's just getting choked out. So I'm gonna actually dig up that heliopsis and put it there. and that's a Joe Pye weed, and I'm going to move the Joe Pye weed and put it somewhere else. I'm not sure where. I just planted that Joe Pye weed like a week ago, so it's not rooted in. I can probably just slip it right back in its can. The reason why I want to move it is because this is a phlox, just about to bloom. It's the Luminous Phlox by Proven Winners. And I just think like that's a chartreuse purpley pink, and then that pink, it's just, they're different pinks, but I want something yellow here. So I think that Heliopsis would be better, and the height would be about perfect. So I'm going to move the Heliopsis and move that Joe Pye weed. And then this is the back side of a flower bed that we never come back to. As you can tell, there's weeds taken over. There's an oak tree just growing. We never come back here. You can't even see the back side, obviously. And I have these two gorgeous lilies that we never ever see. So I want to move those and plant them somewhere that we can enjoy. So yeah, please ignore, like I said, we never come back here. So it's a mess, it's a mess. I'm just gonna set you guys up, and I'm going to start with transplanting and moving things and just making everything look better, okay? Okay, you guys, I am done. I transplanted everything except for the Joe Pye weed, where I'm going to put the Heliopsis for a couple reasons. One is there's landscape fabric in there, and two, I don't think this is actually planted there, because if you look down at the landscape fabric, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's not, it's just coming right through the landscape fabric. It's not even, normally when my husband landscaped, he would cut a big hole around the plant where it would go, so there'd be lots of space, and there's no big hole, so I don't think that was planted there. And if you look, this is coming up all over the place. Like, there's a bunch there, a bunch there, and he didn't plant it all here. So I think this Heliopsis spreads all on its own. It's gorgeous though, and I do want it over on that corner, but I'm a little worried of it taking over. Like, I don't want it to just take over and naturalize so much where that's all that is and chokes out everything else. Plus, I'm not 100% sure where I want that Joe Pye weed. I'm thinking, I had a couple ideas, but I didn't want to transplant it and then a couple weeks not like it and then move it again. So for now, the Heliopsis and the Joe Pye weed are gonna remain there and stay there. Let me show you where else, or what else I planted. So I removed the dianthus and put this Lily Looks Tiny Moon there. I love that. I love that so much better. As you can see, most of the stuff along here isn't blooming yet because it's like late summer stuff. So I'm glad to have some late spring, early summer interest. And the 2 phlox that I dug up went there. I have a baptisia, which I hope it's not too close to the baptisia. I have a bad problem of planting things too close. There's a white echinacea, and these phlox, you can see this one is kind of budding up. This is different. It's the Pro Series Garden Phlox, but it's the exact opposite of this picture. So the center of this phlox, the center is the dark pink, which kind of shows, but then the outside is a white, kind of a white light pink. But I think that would look really good with the white echinacea, because that is so close to just turning completely white. So there's that. This is where I put the yarrow. So this is a yarrow that I hadn't planted yet, and I haven't cut it back, but I left it to kind of show the height. I think that would be perfect. I love that. Obviously, there's some spent blooms, but if you look in there, I'll come through and cut it back. There's like some that haven't opened yet. Yeah, like right down here. This will grow up and bloom. And the other one I put right here. So this one I did cut back. You can see there's new blooms coming. So I'll cut back the other one as well. I might move that pincushion flower, but for now it stays. And this is where the yarrow was. You can see I have cardboard because I'm going to continue cardboard up here and then connect it with that flower bed. But I just, again, need more mulch. But this, I think, will be really pretty. This is a Sweet Daisy Rebecca. Now this says zone 3 right there. But I was at a different store that had this exact, it said Sweet Daisy Rebecca, and it said only zone 5. So one says 3, one says 5. So let me know if you live in zone 3, if you have this and if it survives. But it's this beautiful, almost a double, it's hard to see, like a double flowering daisy. And I think that white would look really good with the liatris. I have a Asiatic lily there. That's a Rytro Echinops. So, and then a rose. But I think that will look really pretty. Okay, you guys, that is it for this video. I'm hoping I like where everything is now better than where it was, which I already love where everything is. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you're the same as me. Like, do you need to just set plants out for a couple days before you plant? Because whenever I don't do that, I want to say I regret it, because it would look fine there, but I like where they are now better. So that is it. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.